Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
I used to call it the Volen Center because when I was so involved with them years ago, that was the official name. And now it's the Volen Center. And if anyone wants to see the best senior, I'll call it senior center, you want to go to the Volen Center. And today we have two special people who represent them. One is Kim Lovito, who is director of the Adult Care Services, and we'll tell you what that is after, and ABBEY MERIN, who is the Life Enrichment Supervisor. The one thing that I have to say is you all have more individual organizations within the Volen Center because not everybody is the same. They need different services. So why don't we start off with you, Kim? Tell me exactly, since you're in a very high position there, tell me how you see the Volen Center and what they really do that's so different.
I see the Volen Center as a community all within itself. We have programs for active seniors, young children, anybody in between. We have adult daycare centers. We have support programs, which is our programs department, that assists people with needs like health, home health needs, food, electric bills on occasion. With the adult daycare centers, which is basically what I run, I have two programs in the 3 adult daycare centers that we have. We just opened a new program at the East Boca location, which is Life Enrichment Plus, and Abby will tell you about Life Enrichment. But Life Enrichment Plus is for adults that most of them have dementia or Alzheimer's, but that are still independent but need some assistance. They still have the ability to make choices in this program. We go on field trips. We go down to Abby's Life Enrichment and attend her entertainment and activities. And it's a pretty popular program right now. Everyone seems to love it. We just opened that program again March 15th. The other 2 sites, which is in West Boca and Delray, are your adult daycare, which we still have the same activities that we've always had in adult daycare, which is exercise programs, cognitive stimulation, also the ability for people to make their own choices when they're in adult daycare, but in a safe environment.
I'm going to just tell you that I know people who have been able to keep their loved one out of nursing homes because they can go to daycare, because this way they work all day, and so then they can come drop off their loved one, and then they're able to be able to work and then know that their loved one is doing well. So it's a very important system and organization that you have, and that's been going on for a long time there at the Volen Center.
We also have nurses on each site, so if there are any medical needs while the client is on site, it's taken care of.
Yeah, and the nice part is that when you go in, there are people, they're all friendly. You don't know who's a volunteer and who works there or who's what's going on there. But the other thing that is just amazing to me is your transportation. I mean, I just can't, I don't think anybody has as many buses and people. I was there, I saw them waiting. I was there one afternoon, and then they call their name, they get on the bus, and this way they feel very important.
Absolutely. We have transportation all over the county, of course, to our center, but we also have transportation to doctor visits, to the grocery store, to Walmart, to Kmart, so that seniors can get around as they need to.
And so I think I'd like to now, let's just take a minute and talk to Abby, because she's sitting here smiling and you're enjoying this. You could have had any kind of a job. Why did you choose this kind of a job, Abby?
Well, so today's actually my 9th day at the Volen Center, and I'm very happy to be a part of their organization and community. I love the fact of being able to offer a place for. So I work in the life enrichment part of the center, and I love being able to offer a place for people to come and have programs and be able to socialize. And with me being new, there's a lot I'm still learning, but I hope that, I can be a part of the team of helping, kind of grow and add new things. And, we recently started some new programming, such as we have an art teacher that comes. We have some professors that are coming to do lectures. That's something I want to start more of. We have entertainment, themed lunches, exercise, chair yoga. We go on outings.
Your days and nights are going to be filled. I can just feel it.
Yeah, exactly.
I can see the light in your eyes. It sounds like that Jarrett, who is the executive director, chose very well, because
Thank
you have to love seniors to enjoy this, because nothing's easy, but seniors do have a specific way about them, and if you love it and they love you, it's like you have 1,000 grandparents.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And the best part about the Volen Center is I feel like it's kind of like a one-stop, shop. Like, not shop, but, you come
right.
and there's just so many services that are offered for, our local, seniors and adults, children, and at an affordable, rate as well, which is nice to, be able to come to a place and, no matter what background you're from, there's a place to come to for the socialization and, to be able to have something to do. And the transportation part is amazing to me, because the transportation is at no cost.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
So everything that they're doing, really, even if it costs something, it's so minimal. So Kim, thinking about one program which was early and it was so important, was the nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you talk about, if someone comes there, what happens, how they get lunch, and what that's all about?
So the Older Americans Act feeds anyone over the age of 60. We have in our daycares our meal sites. We also have a few other meal sites in South Palm Beach County, as well as on our at the Volen Center campus right here in Boca. So the buses will bring people. They come. We have breakfast and lunch at the sites, free of charge. And the buses will take them home. They can also stay at the center all day and enjoy the activities should they choose to do so.
And what I think is so important about that is, if they get breakfast and lunch, no matter what they have for dinner, it won't be as critical, because we know so many people, if they're not out doing something, then they just eat whatever they can, and they're not getting nourishment. So we know now that, and I'll just share this with my dog. My dog was not doing very well, and the vet put him on a very special diet, changed his life.
Correct.
And I'm sure that's exactly what happens to a lot of the seniors. If they're eating properly, they're going to be thinking better, moving better.
Absolutely. We also will send home shelf-stable meals.
What are they?
Just something that they can put in their cabinet: canned food, crackers, the packets of oatmeal that they can have at home if they need it.
Now, also, you have, and I know you have a lot of people there who do entertain, and they're volunteers, aren't they? So I know we're now, I just wrote an article in the upcoming issue of Boomer Times about needing volunteers.
I think I read that one,
Yeah,
actually.
right. I wrote that because Jared told me you need volunteers.
Actually,
Absolutely.
Jared wants to call them volunteers.
Oh, that's
Volunteers.
You know what?
Volunteers.
That is beautiful. Let's just take
Clever.
someone like
We
him.
have
He is so clever.
t-shirts for them.
Volunteers.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody listening who wants to be a volunteer, you're going to love it. Let's get some information as to how people can contact you. I want to get your phone number out there. Well, we know you can go to volencenter.com, but I know that there is a phone number, too, that people can call, and I'll be finding that out.
For Volen.
Yeah, do you know that?
561
Oh, go ahead.
395 8920.
Wait, hold on. I'm writing this down. 561.
395 8920.
Okay, good. And just make that phone call and tell them that you want to be a volunteer,
Absolutely.
and you'll make $1 million a week in smiles.
And smiles.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
we're always looking for people, that maybe, they play the piano, or, schools. Computer, yeah.
That's right, to teach.
Community any organization that would, like to, come and support and give back. And
So actually, Abby, what is your background? Because it sounds like you were a very good pick for this. What were you doing before?
Can I use where I worked before, or
It's not necessary.
Okay,
What I'm trying to say is, what is your background so that why you're enjoying this so much?
My background, I graduated from FAU in 2011 with my bachelor's in social work. I kind of like to say I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up, but I kind of fell into the activities part, and I've worked with seniors, at the independent level to like assisted living and Alzheimer's dementia. So I've worked in like communities, and now this is actually my first time working in a day senior center, but I'm really excited about that.
Well, you'll know what they want and what they need. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So the past several years has been working with the senior population.
Right. Well, that's really important because there are people I know who I've told them how much I love the older adults, and they say, "Oh no, I love children. I don't really want to be with the older adults." I don't understand that, but you need to know who you are.
Exactly.
So, Kim, with your RN background, what brought you to how long have you been at the Volen Center?
I've been at Volen Center for 2 years. I've been a nurse for 25 years. So I've worked in with cancer patients. I've worked in travel medicine, and I decided to come visit the Volen Center, and I helped them open their nurse registry there. And I just fell in love with it. I fell into this role with the adult care services and the daycare centers, and it's great. I love going into the centers every day.
And they pay you.
Every single one of the clients in there, and they're all different.
Right.
They're all different, and they're all special in different ways.
Yeah, it is true, but let's talk about the nurse registry. What actually is that for our listeners?
A nurse registry is a referral service for home care independent contractors. We vet them, basically. We will make sure they have fingerprinting, background screening, the specific credentials, whether they're home health aides, certified nursing assistants. At the Volen Center right now, we don't use any skilled nurses. It's usually just for homemaking, personal care, companionship, errands, respite for a caregiver. We make sure that they have their CPR, HIV/AIDS continuing education units, their elder abuse continuing education units, and we send them out to a client who's in need. The client meets them if it's a good fit, because everyone has a different personality. And
who pays for that?
It depends. It can be private pay, or sometimes it's funded.
So when someone walks into the Volen Center, that's the biggest plus. They have no idea what they're doing. Really.
No, they don't. Most don't.
No, when they come in, someone's either taken them there or told them about it, or a friend. They have no idea what they have just walked into. I mean, it is so exciting, and I hope that anyone listening who've maybe been to some other centers and maybe have been very disappointed, go to the Volen Center and you'll see the difference. It is a glorious place. They can fit any of the needs you have. If you can be a volunteer, I love this word. I'm really going to use this. The volunteer, which is actually a volunteer.
We'll bring you a shirt next time.
Yeah, I want a shirt for the Volen Center. Yes. But something I should say, that they are going to be at the Boomer Expo. Remember, everybody, it's coming up on the 23rd of, it's Tuesday, the 23rd of July, and I don't know who of the two lovely ladies here, but you will have wonderful people there, and that you'll get all sorts of information. So please do come and make sure you see them. All right, I'd like to go back to the bus situation, because you have, I think, something like 27. You have a lot of buses.
We have a lot of buses.
And I remember when I was working there in another capacity, that the scheduling is amazing. I mean, I don't know how you keep track of this.
I don't know how they do either sometimes.
They have a huge transportation department.
Yeah, we have an amazing transportation department.
Because everybody has to know when they're being picked up, when they're being brought back. I mean, it takes a lot of really smart. I don't know, it must be all computerized now. It wasn't years ago, but it's computerized. But And then your bus drivers are so nice.
They're trained very well. They know how to handle different types of participants. If someone is on the bus with dementia, or someone is on the bus that's an active, healthy senior, they know how to treat them differently and safely for all of them.
It is. And the other program that I think is really extraordinary, and I want to go back to that, is the daycare center, because people are saved by being in the daycare center. And you do have people of different levels, I know, some people. But it doesn't seem to matter, does it? They all get along, because how many people do you usually take in one time? How many people?
What's the capacity?
Yes.
So it depends on the center. I have, at the East Boca Center, I have 102 participant capacity.
You do?
I do.
And so is it all in one room?
No, there's quite a few rooms.
So they're in different rooms. That's huge.
It's huge. And I hope to get to capacity.
I am sitting here with my mouth open. It is just amazing. And you do know the other centers all over the 2 counties, 3 counties. No one does what you do they?
Not in the way
Not
that
really.
we do. There's daycare centers, but not
No, I mean
like
for the
our
whole,
center,
the
correct.
Volen Center.
There's not the support that we have for the community in other centers. We're a community within ourselves.
And the nice thing that I have always felt about it is, as compared to some other daycare centers, because I have been through it and I've seen them, but I've seen yours also, is people never feel like they're inferior. They never feel like something's wrong with them. You always make them feel so good.
Correct.
You know, that's really that's a big plus. And I think because you get the kind of funding you do get, it's never enough, and we hope people will donate to the Volen Center. We've got to have some more events there to make some more money. But people are really assured when they contribute to the Volen Center that the money is really being used properly.
Absolutely.
And the Volen Center, I didn't realize, has been around for 51 years,
Correct.
Which is amazing.
Let's see, I got my master's degree in 1990, and that's when I was there. And so how many years is that already? You know, it shows. And you know the story that the May Volen, it was a man that named it after his wife, because they actually were a little storefront. That's how they started. Because people needed help and no one knew what to do about that. And you in your nursing capacity, Kim, you understand that.
I do understand that.
I feel like it's like South Florida's like best kept secret, you know, like it's one of those places that not everyone might know about, but you know, learn about it. And it's like, wow.
Not just for the participant in the adult daycare or in the programs, but for their caregiver.
Right.
The caregiver needs that respite. I see so many people that come in and are at their wits' end, and they can't thank us enough.
Yeah.
That they just need help.
I once met a man who said, and it wasn't actually at the Volen Center, but he was talking about daycare at the time, and he said that my mother lives with me, and she, can't take care of herself, so I take her to a daycare center. I can work, then I can come home, and she can be with me. Mm-hmm. And I thought he was wonderful to take care of his mother that way, but it was really the daycare center that was doing something that was very important.
There was a similar experience yesterday. I had, and kind of in regards to what you're saying, is a woman came with her mom, and her mom lives with her, and her mom recently lost her significant other, and just it's been a lot, and so she started coming here. I think she's going on her 3rd day, and her daughter came up to me and said, wow, like I've been able to cook and get my hair done, and like it just, and I feel, that she's safe, and she's smiling, and I just, that touched me, because when you start to kind of hear that or see that, you realize that you're helping others.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to repeat everybody's name. You've just heard from ABBEY MERIN, and she's the Life Enrichment Supervisor. And then, of course, you've been listening to Kim Lovito, who is the Director of the Adult Daycare Services and Administrator of the Nurse Registry, and so many other things. You have a lot of staff there, too, don't you?
We do have a big staff, yes. all happy and excited to be there and help anyone that comes through that door.
You actually have people who, now you talked about being a social worker, Abby, but there are people who actually are psychotherapists or therapists who can talk to people who are confused. And don't you have other kinds of categories here?
In the center,
Yes.
we have our program assistants, which are in the daycares. We have a 5-to-1 ratio.
Is that right?
correct.
5-to-1.
We're required by the state to have 6-to-1, but we're 5-to-1. We
Wow.
make sure that we have more than we need. And we have our programs department, which will help anyone who comes in the door.
We have case managers.
Case
and-
management, yep.
You know, that's what they need in schools today. What you have at the Volen Center,
Absolutely.
isn't it true? I mean,
Yeah.
because that's the whole secret, making sure that everybody is known as who they are. If they have problems, that you try to handle it, and if not. So, when it really comes down to this, we don't want any of these programs taken away. So everybody, you know, if you get a chance to vote for things that are, you know, more help for the seniors, that's what you're voting for. You have to make sure that you attend any programs that the Volen Center has, because they have to earn money. I know that they do use their hall for other kinds of things,
They
and
do.
they rent that out.
Correct.
And the other day when I was there, they had someone playing the piano, and he was a volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it not only made the people happy listening, it made him happy,
Mm-hmm.
because he actually had people who really cared what he was doing.
We even have clients that play the piano, and they will play for the other participants, and they will play dueling piano sometimes with volunteers.
And you do know their names. I know that.
We do.
Yeah, that's important, and because they know who they are,
Mhm.
and they want to come every day, don't they?
They
Do
do
most
wanna-
of them come every day?
It's funny because they will start. Usually, it's a caregiver that comes in and says, well, "He's just coming one day," and then in a week, it's 5 days a week, because they realize how much they've changed just going. I hear he doesn't get off the couch, and now he's asking to go, and he's talking, and he's remembering things. And people don't realize that socialization changes so much.
I know.
And I think some people, or a client I spoke to earlier, had said that, I guess when you hear like senior center, it might sound a little, that's not for me type
Or
of
daycare
thing.
center, of course. all of that.
Right. But it's not like that. Like, now that she's been coming for 2 months, she's like, it's the best decision I ever made.
We should call it the club.
It's the day club.
Yeah,
Right, it should be the
exactly.
day club.
Day club,
Exactly.
yes.
Yeah, it's the day club, and anybody who goes there. Now, we talked about it costing money. Can you just tell us a little bit about that? Because I know it can't be expensive.
We have different programs depending on the level that the participant falls. Our programs can be as low as $500 a month.
And that means
For
they
the
can come
daycare,
anytime for anything. That's daycare.
That's the daycare, and that's one of the programs. Abby's program, you're at $60 a year.
60 for a year is our
60 what?
$60.
a year
for a
the
year.
active
Oh,
senior,
wait,
yes.
you're kidding.
No.
$60 for the whole
For the
year, and
whole
they can
year.
come as much as they want?
Yep.
As a member.
And then we also
wait
have
a minute. Is that really true?
That's
Yeah.
really true.
And we have a new program. It's called our Horizon Unlimited. It's $90, but that includes, complimentary bottle of water on transfer when you go on the transportation, like special events specifically for the group, a tote bag, just something to kind of, just add a little more to their experience.
And are you open 365 days a year?
No.
Okay.
We are Monday through Friday.
Okay, but Monday through Friday all year?
Except for major holidays, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
yeah,
saying
yeah.
January through December.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, the cost is, I'm sure there should be another number before that, 60 or 80.
No, for the
Well,
memberships of Volen,
yeah, it's the
60.
best deal in town. I'm so glad that we're all working together, because we're going to get more volunteers.
Volunteers.
And I'm specifically got to remember people, there are people who really would never even consider this because they don't think about it, but we're going to make them think about it because it's so wonderful. anyway, and they can come for what, an hour, 2 hours? They have a certain time that they as
We're
many
open-
hours as they can
Correct.
come.
The daycares are open
the
7.
the volunteers.
The volunteers, yes.
And the senior centers, or it's open 8 to 4.
Oh, that's
so
good. I'm glad you mentioned that. 8 to 4. Okay, well, ladies, I'm going to see you at the expo, and that, remember, everybody, that's Tuesday, and that's July the 23rd.
23rd.
And thank you very much for coming. I know
Thank
you
you
got to
so
rush
much.
back. People missing you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.